So our friends over at the FTC have returned $3.1 million to victims of a student loan debt relief and credit repair scheme. So today we're going to dive into that story and explain a little bit more about what happened. What's up, y'all? My name is Tomy Boboy, your credit and personal finance coach. If this is your first time on my channel, I'd like to say welcome. Typically, I'm going to be talking about videos related to credit and personal finance. So if you're interested in those topics, or you're interested in improving your credit or achieving financial freedom, then be sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, before I actually jump into the meat of this video, I do want to just touch quick on credit repair, the whole credit repair industry, and kind of my views on it. Now, disclaimer, guys, I do actually own a credit repair company where I help people improve their credit so they're able to buy a house or get approved for a car, or even just start building towards business credit. But the issue with the credit repair industry is there's not any sort of licensing or anything like that. So really anybody can technically fix credit, right? It's just about you taking the time to learn everything that there is, and then as you continue to grow, just continuing to adapt to whatever new laws come out and the credit bureaus and things like that. The issue is that a lot of people just say they can fix credit because they know they can get money from people. Everyone has credit. There's a lot of people who have credit issues, especially in America. And it's easy to try to get money from people just by promising them that you can fix their credit but within 2 days or something, right? And that's kind of really what happens is people make these outlandish claims, and then they take people's money, and either they try to follow through and fail, or in some cases they don't even do anything at all, right? And the issue then comes in is it makes the actual people, the good people in the industry that are actually trying to do the work, it makes all of us look bad, right? So now even whenever I'm trying to get clients, I have to explain to them what I do a lot more, and I just add a lot more guarantees, right? Promise them that if they're not seeing results, they get their money back, things like that, because of what's happening in the industry. Typically people will tell you things like, I can fix your credit within a week, within 2 weeks. And that's just not the case, right? It's quite literally pretty much impossible to do that unless they're doing things like claiming identity theft, which is illegal. They basically claim identity theft to get everything removed off your credit. And typically what happens is once all that information's been disproven, or they can prove that it wasn't identity theft, then all that stuff gets added back to your credit report, and you're back at where you started. And you're gonna be like $1,000 missing out your bank account because you paid some guy $1,000, $2,000 to fix your credit. So the reason that's kind of what made me want to do this video was because I wanted to show you guys kind of what's happening, that the FTC is starting to look at credit repair companies and try to get them taken care of if they're not following the right way or the right path. And that, I think it's a great thing because it helps companies like mine that are actually trying to do it the right way, who are actually following the law when it comes to fixing people's credit. It helps us to be able to just kind of get rid of all the negative stuff in the industry, right? So there's a lot less people who are saying they just get scammed, credit repair doesn't work, so on and so forth. So right off the bat, that's just to let you guys know that credit repair does work when done right, but there's a lot more people trying to do it wrong than do it right. Okay, and just like in instance with this story. So in this case, we're actually going to be talking about a company called Strategic Student Solutions. Basically what they were doing is they were doing credit repair, but they're actually also offering another service that a lot of credit repair companies have started bolting on to their credit repair company, right? Their normal services of fixing your credit and trade lines, things like that. Now they're starting to add on student loan debt relief. And basically all that is they'll pretty much help you with filing the paperwork. So if you're someone who doesn't know much about how student loans work, typically they'll help you file the paperwork for you to get your loans like deferred, or even maybe you qualify to have your loans forgiven, which is, I mean, that's pretty much a rare case, but if you qualify for that, then they help you get that done, things like that, right? And so they pretty much, credit repair companies have bolted that service on as well, so they can help you with your credit and help you with your student loans as well, right? Now, the issue with this guy is, his name is Dave Green. The issue with him was that he was making just outlandish claims when it came to his student loan program that he was offering. On top of charging people for the credit repair and not fulfilling on that promise, he took it a step further and was starting to offer the student loan services. And basically what he would do is he would claim that he could get your student loans first off deferred, but then he could actually get them completely forgiven. It didn't matter who you were, which FYI, guys, again, student loans are forgiven for like a rare case of people, right? Typically, your student loan is going to be forgiven if you've been working as like a teacher in a really underprivileged or a really underrepresented or underprivileged area. Then after like 10 years or something ridiculous, then they'll actually forgive your loans. But it's that case in really rare cases like that where you actually get your loans forgiven. So if you're just working a regular job at a private company, it's dang near impossible for you to get your loans forgiven. And we're talking about federal loans, okay? It's pretty near impossible for you to get your federal loans forgiven. So this character, Dave Green, basically he first started off by saying that he could get the student loans forgiven, right? So you would be able to get those, first get them reduced. You would be able to get the student loans reduced at first, and then he would eventually get them forgiven. Now, the caveat here as well was that he also stated that any payments that you made, since you're going to have to pay monthly payments to him directly, any payments that you paid to him directly, he would use to also pay off your loans, right? So if you think about it that way, it doesn't make much sense, right? It's like, so I'm paying you, let's say I pay you $40 a month. I'm going to pay you $40 a month, and you're going to take that money and use it to pay off my student loans. So then how do you make money, right? And that's the way I look at it, right? It didn't make sense how he was going to be making money. But anyways, he went with that. People took him at his word, and that's not quite what he ended up doing. Now, typically what ended up happening was people would completely ignore their student loan, any type of bills or anything that they got. He had told them, don't reply to any mail you get that has to do with your student loans. Don't even read them, just throw them away, and just keep making payments to me, and I'm going to take care of your loans, right? And so people followed his instructions, and after 6 to 8 months, they would start getting letters in the mail saying that their loans were in collections, things like that, and that their loans hadn't been paid in 6 months, all these things, despite them expecting that not only were the loans going to be reduced but eventually forgiven, but they started seeing that the loans weren't even getting paid at all, right? So if you think about it, it's like a scenario where he's literally just taking the money, he's taking money from you, and he's not doing anything. He's literally just sitting at his office just collecting more money. The craziest part of it is he didn't really have much of a team in the US, right? Guys, this guy stole millions and millions of dollars. He didn't even have a team in the US. He had like 50 to 150 callers working from Jamaica. He had them making the phone calls, and he would promise even that he wasn't going to increase your credit score and improve your credit history on top of fixing your student loan issues, right? So it's all this wrapped in one low monthly fee. So this actually ended with him being accused of defrauding all his clients, and he ended up having to settle with the FTC for $17 million. Okay, so just by you hearing that amount, it tells you how much money this guy brought in. If they're willing to settle for $17 million, that shows you that this scam that he was doing worked on a lot of people, right? And a lot of people ran through his company. Now, the benefit is that because everything was settled with the FTC, they're actually going to be mailing out checks to 21,000 people who were scammed by this guy. 21,000, okay? So they're going to be mailing out checks, refund checks to these guys. Luckily, they're going to be getting at least part of the fees that they paid back. I think probably the worst part of it is, more than likely, they're gonna be left and stuck with having to deal with the credit issues that they have now. Anytime you don't pay your student loans for a long period of time, especially the 6 months, I think usually it's gonna be after, like, let's say past 3 months, they will then report it to the credit bureaus, and that's gonna be a huge hit on your credit because you're not making your monthly payments, right? And so I think that's probably the worst part of it for them, is even if they got a portion of the money back in, even if they got the full amount, they're now going to be left in the hole because their student loans are now showing up with negative marks on their credit report. And that's something that's going to be pretty difficult to fix depending on what kind of situation they're in. And so, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Just a short little story time for you guys. And again, guys, anytime I do these story times, it's not just as an interesting story. I want it to be a situation where you kind of put yourself in their shoes, and it kind of gets you guys thinking. If you're thinking about working with a credit repair company, or you're thinking about working with a student loan debt relief company, in your mind, you're kind of thinking about this story. And if anything doesn't feel right whenever you're dealing with these companies, then you can always reach out to me. Even if you're under this video, if you have something right now that might be kind of weird, reach down below, just throw a comment down there, and I'll reply to the comment telling you what I think. But if you ever feel like you're in a situation that doesn't sound legit, it's always best to, you know, try to talk with other people about it. And if you're still not sure, reach out to a consumer rights attorney, because this is something where it can have a huge effect on your credit if you're not making payments on your student loans, or if you have someone doing this credit repair stuff where they're not fixing they're not repairing your credit correctly. Then it could be a situation where you are charged for fraud, right? FBI can come after you for fraud, things like that. So always make sure that you're just being careful when it comes to any types of credit repair and any types of student loan debt relief. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button down below so YouTube knows to recommend this video to more people. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button down below as well so you don't miss any of my future videos. Alrighty, guys, so that's gonna be it for this one. I'll see you at the next one.